Back to Vandemic Campervans. I'm Rick here again with another build. You'll notice here this one was done very quick. It's another 2021 Highroof Promaster to 159 wheelbase. Come on in, take a peek. We're gonna do something a little different this time, guys. We're gonna start in the bedroom. This is again our signature Vandemic layout. With the bedroom here, we've got a full queen. It's a short queen actually, so it's 75 inches tall, but it's horizontal versus 60 inches wide, which is a normal sized queen. We've got our bedroom window. Again, that's an option. This client decided to have it and we put it in, so it gives a third window in the van. And then all of your controls again are over here. There's some light switches. There's the control for the max air fan, which is up front. There's the Webasto heater control, which sits up underneath the passenger seat. You got some USBs, some regular 120 outlets, and then of course you've got your reading lights. Something special in this particular build that this client wanted, instead of a second max air fan in the bedroom, she wanted an actual skylight. So we were able to put that in. She's a photographer and just wanted to be able to pop her head out and have her little tripod with her phone or camera and set it on the roof. And so we were able to get that in there. And we'll show you a little bit more right now. Also in the bedroom, we have two overhead cabinets that can both fit a good amount of storage. Pretty deep, about 15 inches deep, just to fit all of your clothes and maybe some towels and everything else that you need for the bedroom. Client here wants something a little bit different than we've done before. If you can see, some fancy little knobs to help. She's very sparkly, so she wanted to add a little bit pizzazz to this build. We have our signature cubby off the back. There's 4 compartments here. This is for additional storage, about 6 inches deep. There's a USB on whoever sleeps on this side of the bed. And again, that's standard in all of our builds. Welcome to your outdoor shower, folks. This is standard in every single build. It's a heated outdoor shower. We don't put one inside, but we do have one off the back. There's a 2.5 gallon hot water heater that sits inside the garage that provides hot water both to the kitchen, but also out back here. So after a long hike, a run, rock climbing, whatever you're out doing, you can rinse off and get nice and fresh and clean before hopping back into the van. All right, guys, so the garage here again, just want to showcase a few things here. We do have, there's 3 sets of lights in here. There's one in the garage, so you've got your control panel here for that. There is 2 outlets there, 120 outlets. Everything's very well vented, just for the inverter, and the batteries that sit over here do generate a little bit of heat, so the more circulation and air ventage that they can have is actually very helpful. And then something else that's standard in every single build we do is just an outlet here. This is for shore power. Basically, if you're at a campground, if you've got a little extension cord, you can actually plug right in, and this taps into the power that is at your campsite there and powers your van. Back here in the garage again, so we have a 4,000 watt EAMS inverter, control panel, fuse box, and then up top there is the solar charge controller. The white box up there is very important, and we feel should be mandatory in every build, is a battery to battery charger. So while you're driving, your whole entire battery bank is charged, and your battery bank sits here. And again, we use 3 105 amp hour Lion Energy batteries. So total is 315 amp hours. Also, this guy right there is a cell booster. So that is included in every build as well. So if you're out and about and have at least one bar, this helps to populate 2 or 3 bars just to add additional service and give you some juice for your phone. On the other side here is where your water tank sits. Your freshwater tank is a wheel well 32-gallon freshwater tank, and up top here you've got your accumulator and then your water pump to give you pressure. And here is where you would your water inlet, fill a water tank from there. Obviously your shower control, and then there's a window there so you can see how full or empty your water tank is. One other thing that I feel like we haven't mentioned in our other videos is if your van does not have an actual hitch, we'll actually put one on for you. That's part of the Vandemic package. So just wanted to showcase that as well. Welcome to the front of the van. So we're up in the cab here. Obviously you can see both seats swivel. This is standard in every build that we do. This really, in our opinion, it's super important because it really opens up the space. Again, we're in 70 square feet, but this is a way to actually open it up and kind of not feel so closed in on yourself. It really opens it up. And we have our Lagoon Table here. It's positioned to hit all the seated areas in the van here. So right now I'm in the front 2 seats. You can see you can raise this up and actually use it as a table in between the 2 seats here, or you can lower it a little bit and swing it around because it swings on a 360-degree plane. It's one of my favorite things in the van, but it can serve as a table and a bench for the couch as well. We are in the living room here, and as you can see, the cabinet faces are a little bit different than normal. The client chose to upgrade a little bit to have a 2-tone face to the cabinets, just to give it a little bit something different and add a little bit more character to the build. These overhead cabinets, again, there's 2 of them, obviously. About 15 inches deep. They do hold a good amount of storage. It can be an extension of the kitchen storage or just some clothes, blankets, whatever else needs to be stored away here. And as we move down, she picked out this awesome fabric. It's got some texture to it, but it really ties into the van. It's actually really comfortable, feels really nice, and couldn't be happier with how that turned out. I think she's gonna love it as well as once she sees it in person. Continuation of the living room here, we have our standard window, which is nice. It slides open, screen, so it helps keep the bugs out, but also gives you another cross ventilation source that helps in hot weather and just keeps it nice and cool inside the van. Behind me here is our closet, and again, pretty standard in every single build. You can hang a handful of coats, sweatshirts, maybe t-shirts or whatever else you want to hold in the closet, but also pretty deep too, so if you have any extra shoes or whatever, you can store them in the bottom there as well. So the face cover here running the ceiling down is an upgrade. Half of our clients have chosen to do this, so it just adds a little bit extra to it. There's also a 3rd overhead compartment up top here, kind of blends right in. A little bit smaller than the other 2 there, but it's just another 3rd compartment on this side. So all in all, there's 6 overhead cabinets to give you a good amount of storage for everything that you need in here. Also here, the face of the closet here houses the control panel for the inverter. Turn the inverter on and off from here. Also, the solar charge controller is here as well, so you can read how much solar is coming in and where your battery power is at. We're wrapping up the living room here. So under our 4-foot couch here, there's 4 drawers. We've changed one thing up for these, is the way that they actually open. Instead of pulling them and they're on soft close and maybe they're held in with a magnet, now they're on a push release mechanism, so they won't come flying open while you're driving, which is nice. So there's two decent sized drawers there, some smaller ones here, and then as always we've got our garbage and recycle bin here. And then last but not least is your toilet. It tucks away back in there. Odds are you'll probably never use that, but it's there for an emergency, is more so than anything else. All right, we are in the kitchen. We wanted to save this for last. This is our signature Vandemic kitchen. There's a 4-foot butcher block counter. We always will include a built-in spice rack, you can see. So there's 2 shelves with some metal bars to keep things in place. We run the countertop, or the butcher block up here as a little backsplash, and then we add a little resting ledge just to hold either some drinks or just to kind of finish off and have some separation from the bedroom. We've got our water pump controller, a USB, and then the other pump here is it's actually for the undermount gray water tank. So there's a 10-gallon gray water tank that's mounted up underneath. Everything drains down into that, and then you can push that button and pick and choose where you want to release the water to, which is kind of cool. Up above we've got one cabinet for the kitchen, just like all the rest of them, just 15 inches deep, does hold a good amount of pantry food and stuff. Down here we will always add a towel bar. There's also going to be an extra outlet right here, right underneath the sink, along with another set of light controls. These lights in the cab here are on a 3-way switch, so there's actually another switch on the outside. So as you're walking into the van, you can turn the lights on, but then also while you're in here, control them on the dimmer that they're on as well. Underneath is just 2 French doors. That gives you some good amount of space up underneath the sink. And we'll move over here to the fridge, which is a Cruise Isotherm 85. It's about 3 cubic feet, holds a good amount of everything that you would need for the fridge. And then up above the fridge is an actual drawer for cutlery or utensils. This is great to have just with the size of the fridge. It gives enough space above it to have an additional drawer there, which is great. And then a couple other things just want to showcase here at the end of the bench, or at the end of the counter here, is an upgrade a lot of people are starting to choose to do, is just a flip up. It's an extension about 18 inches. So it turns it from a 4-foot into about a 5.5-foot countertop there. And this is really awesome to have just for when you're cooking, or even just, entertaining, having food, or just some additional counter space, which is great in a smaller space. Sink now, so more of a signature build here. Into the drop-in sink is our signature Vandemic logo. We do have a big drop-in sink. There's still some wrappings in there, but we've got a pull-down sink so you can wash everything off very easily. And again, there's hot water to the sink here, which is super helpful in van life. Personally, many trips that we've done haven't had hot water, and I can tell you, you want hot water at the sink, I promise. So for tires, we do upgrade tires. That comes part of our Vandemic package, along with rims. They're all-terrain tires, just to give it a little bit more, they're a little bit more rugged than the factory tires, just to help smooth out the ride. And then the rims, all black rims, just make it look, in our opinion, way better than the factory rims that ProMaster come with. All right, folks, we are on the roof here, and again, one max air fan there, two 195 watt solar panels. They're eco-worthy solar panels, so 390 total watts. And then our client decided to upgrade for a skylight as opposed to a second max air fan. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's a wrap on this beautiful build we just completed. We're going to be handing this off to our client pretty soon. If you guys happen to like the video, do us a favor, tap the like button. It helps us out. It also helps it get in front of a lot more people. And also, we'd love it if you considered subscribing to our channel. It helps us out a lot, and we'd really appreciate it. Stay tuned for a lot more builds, and we'll check you on the next one.